Jocelyn with Hollywood Connections, reporting live from SuperCon and exciting for Lauderdale, Florida. Mr. Mewes, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Thank you for waiting to give me your time. I think that makes sense, but yes.
What was the biggest challenge you had making your first film?
That's a good question actually. The whole thing was a challenge. For some reason, I wasn't planning on making movies. I was a roofer, like on houses. But Kevin, today I wrote a movie and I threw you in it. But for some reason, when the camera was on me, like right now, I would get super nervous. Even doing interviews and stuff, like 20 years ago, for some reason, even though I acted, Kevin wrote Jay. The Jay character was based on me and how I acted and said and did. I'd pull my thing out, I'd say, hey, this, noochie. But for some reason, when there was a camera on me and I had to do the same thing, I'd get nervous. I think because when I used to do all that stuff, it was for my own entertainment, not other people's. But when the camera was on me, I felt like I was performing for people, and it made me nervous. So really, the whole movie was tough getting through because I was super nervous. I'd make people go inside. We were shooting inside the store when we worked. I'd have everyone go outside unless they had to be there, which was like, of course, Brian, Kevin directing, or Silent Bob, but the other extras and stuff, I'd be like, oh, do we need these two people here? Does this person have to be here? And I'd literally send them outside because I'd get so nervous. So, for example, if we were doing this back then, I would have he'd have to wait outside, and it would have to be just him and you. So, it's the truth. It's the truth. So.
Who was your favorite actress or actor when you first started out?
What I can remember from right now, one of the big actors or comedians that I really liked back then was Jim Carrey. But I don't want to say he's an influencer or anything, but I was a super fan of all his movies and the animation in his face and the obnoxiousness of him. So we'll say Jim Carrey.
Who's your favorite now?
I would say Kevin Smith.
What are some other films we might have seen?
I did a bunch of indies that I like. Someone was just talking about earlier. There's a movie I did called The Last Godfather. It was a Korean movie. Well, the producers and the director was Korean, but it was Harvey Keitel was in it. It was lots of fun. Another one called what's that movie? It's called Zombie Hamlet, where I play an actor playing an actor in a Hamlet movie. I play Hamlet, but then we lose funding, so we make it cheap by doing zombies instead. And then Bitten, a lot of people seem to call out Bitten Noobs, which is all about Gears of Wars and video gamers who go and do this tournament. Lots of fun. I'm hoping to do a second one of that. And then my movie, my first directorial debut, it's not out yet, but it's called Madness in the Method. But keep an eye out for it because hopefully it'll be out by like next summer.
Which was your favorite project to work on?
Mallrats. Mallrats was the first studio movie I ever done. I got to meet Stan Lee for the very first time, which was like meeting Jesus. To me, honestly, back then, I was a big comic book fan then and now, but it was really awesome. I got to meet Stan. But again, the whole process was super fun because it was a studio movie. It was surreal. I was shocked, and I had lots of fun.
What does Snooch the Nooch mean?
Snooch the Nooch means I'm just kidding. It started off as nah, just kidding, and then nah, and then nooch. So I would say, hey, I made out with your father back there, your father being the guy back there, and I would go nooch, meaning just kidding.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Jocelyn
and Jason Mewes.
And you're listening to
The Hollywood Connections.
Thank you so much.